Today I'm going to recap the latest episode of Drag Race Philippines Slaysian Royale, Asian A. This was a much better episode than the first one. We had a lot of drama and top tier performances. So without further ado, let's get into it. The queens walk back into the workroom after Madame Yoko's elimination, and we finally find out why Kiana saved Something Wong over her. She says Something was doing the most, which reminded her of herself in season 3. Siam reveals that she would have sent Something Wong home because she had a close friendship with Madame Yoko. So it's a new week in the workroom, and a joke is made that now that Kiana's had her first win, that's it for the season. Because if you didn't know, she also won the very first Maxi Challenge on the very first episode of season 3 and then never won anything after that. Yuha says this is the week for an international girl to win, and the edit was there. Just kidding, the edit was absolutely not there. Arizona says she's hungry for a lip sync and the power to send somebody home. And the edit was sort of there. At that moment, Mama Pow enters the workroom looking fabulous. For this week's mini challenge, the queens have 15 minutes to get into quick drag. They are to play a game called Why Not Coconut, or Cock Ho Nut. It is inspired by a Filipino game called Kadang Kadang. The girls need to break into groups using coconut shells as stilts to run, hop, and skip around stools as fast as they can. International queens were definitely out of their element here, and Kiana becomes the new Matilda by winning 2 mini challenges 2 weeks in a row. So for this week's Maxi Challenge, it's all about girl groups. We ride. Queens will need to write their own verses that represent their brands and what it means to be a strong Asian queen. And the song is titled Asian A. As the winner of the mini challenge, Kiana gets to pick her own teammates. She decides to make an entirely PH girl group, leaving the international queens to work together. And at first I was like, we should have had a mix of PH girls and international queens per team. But then I thought about and I was like, yeah, I'm fine with this. As the girls prepare, Ivory Glaze says that Kiana has started a war. She says Kiana has put a gigantic target on her back, showing where her alliances lie. And this would have been more threatening had the international queens had any sort of dance skills at all. So the queens get to record their vocals with a vocalist, Maxi, the winner of season 3. There's a funny moment where Something Wong tries to help Yuha with her verse, and she's like, yeah, I'm not changing it. It's my verse. Speaking of Something Wong, Kiana wasn't lying when she said she's doing the most. I mean, can you imagine if she had a verse on Break Up Bye Bye? But Something Wong continues to irritate her teammates in the choreography session. She keeps cutting Kitty's space off and confusing her sisters. It's a hot mess, and it continues to be a point of contention in this episode. And then on Elimination Day, Something comes for Yuha, saying that she dragged the team down. And if you had told me pre-season that Something would be the drama of Slaysian Royale, I would not have believed it. So on the main stage this evening, we have the gorgeous Mama Pow. Red and purple is a gorgeous, gorgeous mix. And we have extra special guest judges, Maxi and Jimbo, just like last week. First up, we have Slay Mix, which is comprised of the international queens. And let me just say that this song is the slay of the century. I love it. Like, yes, serve it up with extra rice. I love rice. I liked some of the verses, but the majority of the girls were really stiff, except for Kitty Space. She was by far the best in her team. She carried, and, well, we'll get there. It was so funny when Mama Pow realized that Something wasn't singing her ad-libs, and she basically turns to Maxi and is like, what the fuck? Next up is P Nice, which is all the Filipino girls, and of course, they absolutely dominate. This was everything we've been needing. The level of Filipino talent cannot be matched. It is top tier. And I was actually laughing watching them perform because this was a slaughter. The choreo was tight, the verses were dynamic, they were all in sync. Good night. Category is Tech Couture, and I gave my top 2 to Kitty Space. Crediting drag looks here on Instagram. I've said this before, but I love clowns and jesters. I think this was absolutely gorgeous. I love how her headpiece inflated. This was such a great week for Kitty, despite being completely overlooked. So it's time for the judges' critiques, and they are told that they will be judged as individuals and not as teams. I think this could have easily been done in teams. There was a clear winning team and a clear losing team, but it's fine, I respect the process. But before we can get into the critiques, Mama Pow asks the girls if there was anybody dragging their team down. And she was so messy for this, I love it. The international girls throw Something Wrong under the bus, and she is not happy. She says yet again that Yuha dragged everybody down. And of course the PH girls don't have a concrete answer because they all work so well together as a team. However, Venus does say that she didn't really learn anything from Bernie's lyrics, but it was still a really solid team effort. So first up is Ivory Glaze. They said that they could tell she was nervous, especially when it came to the choreography. If she had injected more personality into it, it could have helped. However, they loved her runway. Yuha is told she had a lot of energy in her performance, but her runway was not it. It was too bootleg, as she calls it, and yes, I know she's referring to Bootleg Opinions, her own YouTube channel show. I have to say, what is this? What am I looking at here? Next up is Something Wrong. They liked her runway, but her performance dipped in the end. It was too messy and she didn't sing her ad-libs. However, Something Wrong admitted online that they actually filmed this twice, and in one of the filmings, she did sing her ad-libs. They just chose to show the other version where she didn't. Oh, they set her up. Brigading is in the top for a very cohesive performance. They loved her runway as well. Arizona is also in the top. She has a very avant-garde runway and confidence like no other. They joke that she was born to do drag, but it's not a joke. She was. And Venus, oh my god, she had such a striking runway. She has the most beautiful face. I can't even stand it. She is told that she gave everything this week. So the top two of the week are Venus and Arizona Brandy. And I do agree, but where was Kitty Space? Kitty should have been in the top this week. Come on. Where was Kitty? I'm asking. Brigading and Yuha are safe, which means that Something Wrong and Ivory Glaze are in the bottom two. And in Untucked, Something is pissed. She is in the bottom for the second week in a row. Brigading is stirring it by revealing that Venus said Bernie's name on the main stage. But Bernie is fine with it. Something that continues to be the drama. Is it just me, or can she be quite aggressive when she's annoyed? She's swearing and name-calling. I'm like, this is wild. She is completely unhinged. But it's good TV, guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on Something. I did feel bad for Ivory, though. She was very upset about being in the bottom, having the worst track record out of everybody on her original season. And I really do believe that she deserves to show more. Back on the main stage, Venus and Arizona lip-sync to XL by Sylvie. Can I just say, Arizona loves a clip-on bang. Venus, though, looked so hot. This was the perfect song for Venus Deluxe. And sure enough, she gets a win. Yay! Venus decides to send Something Wrong home. And it's the right choice. I think Ivory deserved to stay. You could tell Something was expecting it. In fact, she looked happy to get the hell out of there. Thanks for the good TV, girl. So my friends, what did you think of this week's episode? It was 100 times better than the first. I absolutely loved it. I was playing Asian Eyyy this morning in my car as I drove my kid to school. Let's keep this going. Next week is a design challenge. I cannot wait to see Suki Doll slay. But as always, give me all of your thoughts and I'll be back very soon with another video.